Hello there guys, this is Solid Shepard bringing you another video, and today we are talking about something that's really near and dear to my heart, and that is game preservation. You might be wondering why I'm talking about that. Well, today I saw via The Gamer an article we'll be talking about here in a little bit. As always, the description of the article will be down in the description. The link to the article will be down in the description below. But first I want to talk about what I mean by game preservation. So when I say game preservation, what I'm talking about is, usually when people are talking about game preservation, they are referring to emulators, ROMs. Many of you who may be Nintendo fans might know of this a little bit, because Nintendo is very notorious for copyright striking companies for using ROMs. Because they see it as theft, they see it as piracy, and there is a certain amount of that goes into ROMs and all of that, emulators and emulation. But we have a case today that shows the importance of it. So here's the article that we're going to be looking at real quick. It's not really much of an article, it's more of just kind of an update. As you can see, it's not very long. The part we're going to be looking at is right here. It's from thegamer.com. Report PS3, Vita, and PSP stores to be permanently closed in a few months. The PS3, PS Vita, and PlayStation Portable stores aren't long for this world, according to a source familiar with the situation verified by the Gamer. So that they are saying that they have verified this. The stores are due to be closed down from July. The announcement is planned for the end of this month. PSP's and PS3's stores are to be closed on July 2nd, while the PS Vita store will stay open until August 27th. After those dates, you will no longer be able to purchase digital copies of games or DLC for any of the Sony consoles mentioned above. Now, to be fair, they don't say that you can't re-download games that you already own, right? But this does create a certain conversation that needs to be had in the video game space. The value of preservating games. Because we don't know if they're just saying you're not going to be able to buy stuff, or if they're just shutting down the servers completely. If they're shutting down the servers completely, the issue that brings is that you will no longer be able to play those games. Games that are only available on those systems, you won't be able to play them anymore unless you already have them on a PS3 hard drive or on a PS Vita downloaded already when it goes down. And the sad fact is, even if that isn't happening now, it's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen eventually. And with the industry going so hard trying to go to digital, there's a big push going to digital right now. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series both came out this new generation with digital-only versions of the console. There is a big push of the industry to go digital. It's already happened on PC like a long time ago. And this is, luckily Steam, you don't have to worry about generations with Steam, right? Steam, any game you've ever bought on Steam you can play, so that's not really an issue on PC. But on consoles, it's kind of an issue, because any games that are not on other platforms, any games that are only on the PSP or the PS Vita or the PS3, if you don't have them on a hard drive saved somewhere, they're lost. Without emulation. Without ROMs. And no one will ever be able to experience those games again. Unless they come out with some remastered version, but they're not going to do that for every single game. Ignoring the anti-consumer side of things, because expecting people to buy the same games over and over and over and over and over again every time there's new technology that comes out. I'm looking at you, Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto. But ignoring that side of things, it's just that's not going to happen for every game. Look how long we had to wait to get anything Final Fantasy VIII, to get a remastered Final Fantasy VIII. Legend of Dragoon. Look at Legend of Dragoon, right? If you can't find the physical copy of that game, basically you can't play it. Because it's not being made anymore. There's no new versions for the game. If this would have been a case where it would have only been on one of these systems, which there are games like that, you're SOL, right? You don't get to play it. You don't get to play it. So yeah, I don't want to ramble too long on about this, but it presents a very important conversation, and it creates the argument for physical. I know a lot of people have been saying, I don't like going to the store and all that. Physical's dead for this world. When the whole GME thing was blowing up, everyone's like, oh, well, GME is a dead stock because physical's going out of business. Physical game stores can't sell games if there's no physical games, and yada, yada, yada. Like, this has been a conversation that's been going on for a while. And me as a collector, I don't want to see physical go away. And this is why. Like, in essence, this is what collecting is, right? It's, if an apocalypse happened tomorrow, right, and we were in a post-apocalyptic world, as long as I still had my copies of a game, my copy of a game, or games, whatever, I was going to say games as in plural, and the system, and I still had the physical system that they came out on, and a TV, and power, right, I can still play these games. But if it's something I bought on the cloud, or like digitally, and I don't currently have it downloaded, and apocalypse happened, on my Nintendo Switch, right, I was going to grab it, but it's behind me. But on my Nintendo Switch, if I have digital downloads on my Nintendo Switch and I don't have them downloaded tonight, like it's just like, you can go into the store and re-download games. But I don't have the space on my Switch, right? So I just don't have it downloaded right now. And then apocalypse happens and all of Nintendo's servers go down. It's gone. And that's kind of that's the essence. It's the real essence of being a collector of video games. So that's the conversation this brings up. Like I said, there's every possibility this is, right now, it's nothing to worry about, and they're just going to make it, okay, you can't buy the games, but you could still re-download them if you own them. But if they're doing this, then the day's going to come where that is going to happen. And I just feel like this is a conversation that needs to happen. People need to be aware of this. People need to be aware of the pros and cons of physical versus digital. And I think there should always be a place for physical. I honestly do. Now, maybe physical, like GameStops and, game exchanges and those kind of places. Yeah, maybe the place for physical video game stores, maybe the purpose of those will die out eventually. And we won't have a need for them. But if you want a physical copy of a game, I think when a new game releases, you should still be able to go on Amazon and put in your request. And, sure, maybe you might have to wait longer. Maybe it's the thing where it's not as common for people to do physical anymore, so that you'll literally have to, put in, when you order, they have to, make the game for you at the factory. Or not at the factory, but, they have to produce it for you. Right? I don't know. I'm just spitballing at this point. This is why I don't want to see a world, though, without physical. Right? This is why digital only is dangerous. Is because you're depending on the Sony, the companies. You're depending on Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft to have your back digitally. And if they don't have your back, it's gone. Even Steam. If Steam went out of business tomorrow, every single game you own in your Steam library is gone, basically. You don't even own those games. That's another thing. We're not going to get into the whole tangent because this video is running long enough. But something a lot of people don't understand about Steam and really any digital game, you don't own that game. You do not own a copy of the game when you buy digitally. You buy the rights to play it. There's a very key difference there. You have no ownership. You paid money to be given the rights to play it. Just a little nugget to think about. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I know this was kind of everywhere, but I was just kind of spitballing. I felt like this is kind of something need to be talked about. Good video topic for today's video. If you are liking my content, though, please consider liking and subscribing if you have not done already. And until next time, guys, this has been Solid Shepard, and I should go.